Hello, welcome to another Tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration with your painter in residence. I'm Francis McCarthy, and geez, the painting I'm bringing you today is called Golden Stream. It's a 5x10. I painted this, I'm guessing back in March. And before I forget, go ahead and like this video. You know you're going to like it. And also, I want to point out that this painting is, it's going to be in my store, and I'll have a link in the very first comment for the video. By the way, I've had a few people maybe contact me and complain. Yeah, I have to say it's for sale in the video, but once it's sold, the video will still say it's for sale in the store. But I will remove the links, so just a heads up there. It's not much I can do about that, but I appreciate those of you that have helped support my channel and my art practice by purchasing a painting in my store, and for that reason I keep my prices really fair. And I've had to adjust some things. I've had a few galleries come back to me and say, hey, what's going on? So if you see some adjustments on a painting you were interested in, just keep that in mind. I think I've got everything settled down now, and the last thing before we get into the rest of this video is I'm going to roll out some videos that are just going to be going to the mailing list. It won't be messing with what I do here. It'll be 2 a week here. But there will be occasions where I'm doing videos for things going in the store, and I thought it was just crowding the channel, so that's how I'm going to approach that. Anyway, on to the painting. Now, this scene is a scene I've done several times in the past. I've done a 5x7, I've done an 8x10. I may have done 2 5x7s. The 8x10 I did really was quite early on in my time here in New Zealand, and at the time I did it was pretty groundbreaking for me. I have a real attraction to the scene. It's a kind of a local scene to where I'm at, and it's a river. Is it a stream? I'm calling it a stream here, but maybe big for a stream. I don't know. I don't know if there's actually a specific measurement for that, but this particular take on the scene I wanted to do in a panoramic format, and which was cool because I just got into the panoramic thing last year, and I've been wanting to revisit the scene for a while, but not really wanting to repeat what I did, and I feel that the panoramic approach really was a great fresh take on it. And also I wanted to do a real golden sort of thing, and you'll see, I mean, it's about as gold as a painting can get, which I enjoy. And now there's a couple different ways that I can get this gold thing going on. In this particular case, I've mixed all my colors as golds, and I am just painting it fresh. I can also pull this off sometimes with extreme glazing, and I don't know if I have any videos of that up, but it's definitely, say in the case of extreme glazing, I might do a real heavy glaze on an existing painting with like transparent earth red to get everything into kind of a bronzy space, a reddish bronzy space, and then just start painting up from there. And that's one of the things with glazing. It's like when you glaze, you don't just glaze. I mean, you paint into the glaze, and you make things work. But here I have a map, and now when I do the gold thing, sometimes with gold, you can either go towards a greenish gold, which will have a bronzy feel, or a reddish gold, which might have a bit of a coppery feel. I am kind of right in the middle between those two. I'd say I'm leaning a bit more towards the red here. And that's a decision you do need to make. You can mix those in the painting. You can have green golds and red golds. That's fine to do. But you should pretty much have an overall a feeling that you're going for, and I'd have to say this one lands pretty solidly on the red. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to open that image up so I can see what the finished painting's looking like. So we're working on the textured board, which has been toned with a burnt umber tone, and as I've been working for the last, it's going on, it's over a year. That's over a year. I don't know if I want to say 2 years, but time's flying. Things are changing. I'm sure you've noticed. Time's flying. Things are changing. Hopefully, I'll be getting into a new studio soon, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to figure out how to videotape much larger work. This is pretty easy because I have my camera on a tripod just over my shoulder, and so it makes it pretty easy to just have the camera focused directly on the painting. And I've been working like that since the beginning of this channel. But that'll be a change. There'll be some other changes, but I'm pretty committed to keeping this channel going. I really like sharing what I do, and I appreciate all the support and positive comments I've got, and even the negative comments. It's easy for me to delete that stuff. Frankly, if you have a negative opinion, I don't care. Just keep it to yourself, or if you do feel the need to express it, don't be surprised if it's not there next time you come around. And some people might say, well, hey, don't you want the negative feedback? It's like, not really. It might be one thing if negative feedback can be very important, especially, say, in a teacher-student type of relationship. But with the sort of relationship that we have, it's not necessary or called for. So I pretty much just don't want to hear it. Yeah. Anyway, I bring that up because, I got a comment on my last video, and the guy's like, well, your videos are too fast, and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, well, I mean, do you want to watch a 6-hour video? No, you're not going to watch a 6-hour. Very few people will, and very few people do. I have that up, by the way. It's on my channel. If you go to the playlist, you'll see full-length study of Georgia Ness, which is real-time, 6 hours, and you can just, and I'm actually talking about the painting as I'm painting it. So if you were looking for that, gee, I wish I was there experience, and you wanna feel like you were actually in the studio, that's there for you. And I may do that again. We're getting kind of close to 500 videos here, and I've been trying to think of something I could do that would be special. I confess I don't have very many ideas because I've done most everything that I thought would work within the context of the channel, but we'll see. If you have any ideas, feel free to leave me a comment or drop me an email. And emailing me is real easy. You just go to my website, landscapepainter.co.nz, and there's an area where you can send me an email, and I generally get back to people. In fact, thank you to those of you that have sent me emails in the last few weeks. Really appreciate hearing from you, and I'm here to help. If you've got a question or anything that I can help you with, I'm here for you. I really enjoy sharing information, and I had to make a decision. Well, I made that decision way back when I started the channel, maybe 4.5 years ago now, 4 years. Sorry, I'm losing track. I think it's 4. About sharing my process. I've had a lot of friends that were artists, and many of them are very closed about what they did. Some of them were writers and had concepts for stories and things that I thought were good ideas, but one person I won't mention, is still working on trying to copyright their ideas, and they've been doing this for 30 years. That's madness. You're better off just getting it out there. And I don't know, you could have an attitude like, oh, I don't want to share this. I don't want people taking what I do, And to be honest, it's like, really? Do you need to worry about that, Um, I just, personally don't worry about it. I don't. If I can help someone accomplish a tonalist feeling in their work and that's what they want to do, then that's what I'm about. And I'm quite convinced that what they'll end up with will be a unique expression of themselves. And um, that's all good, man. It's like you got to give, I think. Anyway, getting back into this painting, there's not much that I have to say about it. I mean, I pretty much said it. I wanted a panoramic approach. I do feel it's a strong composition. There's a lot of things that I do now that I wouldn't have done in the old days, and that is really a much larger amount of simplification and abstraction of the form. That is really a good move, but it has to come from a place of authenticity. If you are arbitrarily trying to abstract and simplify things, um, a lot of times it just doesn't come off. Whereas in my case, how many trees have I painted? Thousands and thousands of trees. So if you, well, and I don't have video, unfortunately, of the earlier version of the scene, but these trees that are on our left were really complex, and here I just made them very simple, sort of like kind of bookend to the scene with the kind of more distant trees and shrubs and what have you on our right side, sort of acting, and with the foliage down in the bottom, sort of acting as another bookend, and with a river in between. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been so attracted to this scene, and I'll probably, who knows, paint it again. I just think it's a good, strong composition. The other thing is previous incarnations of this scene, these little mountains or hills in the back. I might have spent quite a lot of time delineating those, where here I've just said, well, they need to be there, they need to be in the back, and they don't need to be delineated in any way. As a matter of fact, not much is delineated here. I'd have to say the most effort at any kind of delineation probably went into the forms of the clouds in the sky. And there's another place where in my reference I'd set up, you can see a hint of these sort of diagonal, well, it's a horizontal streak of clouds in the middle, but they have kind of 2 or 3 diagonals to them. And were I to dig up that original version, I spent a lot of time rendering those and working on them, and I pulled it off, but here I wanted to keep things more vague, and I'm much more aware now of the danger of diagonals in your painting, and I guess that's a little tip for it now into the tip portion of the video. Watch out for those strong diagonals. I've had some debates with other painters about this, and that actually thought that they were pulling it off, and I'm a nice guy, so I would maybe say when I'm looking at their work, hey man, watch out for those diagonals. And they go, no, I like diagonals. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But to myself, I would say, that ain't working, man. It's pulling me off to way to one side of the painting. It's messing with me. There are exceptions, like you can use diagonals on the bottom, like you have some diagonals with the river here, which are leading you back into the painting, and that's working fine. Same thing goes for roads and rivers, but even there, it's really important, I think, to break up the edges so that they don't appear too straight. You can see here on the bank of the stream that I've brought in a little portion where it's coming into the river a little bit more. And so diagonals, potentially bad news. I mean, you can maybe, heck, you can make, it's a rule, and every rule out there is designed to be broken by somebody. One of the masters of this was George Anness, by the way. He'd plop a tree dead center of his painting, But he was, this is after 50 years of doing landscape paintings. He knew what he was doing. He was defying the rule and making it work anyway, because not only was he brilliant, but that brilliance was also backed up with a heck of a lot of experience. So anyway, I guess we're getting pretty close to the end. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll be back real soon with actually past masters. And go ahead, join that mailing list. I'm going to be getting more active on the mailing list, and this is one of the ideas I had. I'm going to try to maybe put out a mail either every week or every other week that sort of summarizes the videos and blog posts and has an additional video that is going to be going out just to the subscribers of the mailing list. And I've been kind of racking my brain for things I can do for people to join my mailing list. And I'm sorry if you have joined a while back. I'm sorry I haven't been more prolific at there. I now have a really good email service provider, so I'm very excited about that. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you real soon. Meanwhile, please take good care of yourself and your family, all your loved ones, all your friends, and stay out of trouble.